Here we are. Welcome, recovery rock stars, to another Winning Together podcast. This is Shay, the Vince Vaughn of recovery. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Grateful that you're taking time to be together and connect and find ways to win together today. Today's Winning Together podcast is inspired by a yoga peer of mine, Kenny. He is a ridiculously rad human, and he is shared something that's very insightful that I just have to communicate with you. It's apropos, and this is it. Maybe what's in the way is the way. Maybe what you think is in your way to get to your recovery or get to your state or to get to your place is actually the way you get to wherever it is you want to go. Maybe what is in your way is actually the way. This podcast is created with some real heartfelt inspiration for anyone who's in a sober living or in a living environment where they feel confined and they've got COVID or they're in quarantine and they're around family or friends or people, and it is a real opportunity or a real time when your nervous system goes through a lot, has to work on regulating a lot of stressors. If you're listening to this, if you're hearing me and you've got COVID or you're in quarantine or you're recovering from it, this is the absolute, total, all-out best opportunity you have ever had to do abundance in your life right now. Wonder no more when your abundance is going to come, when your recovery is going to come, when what you need is going to come for you to get what you want or become who you said you wanted to be, or who if you were them or they or it, life would be different. Maybe what is now in your way, you're sick, your roommate's sick, your peers are sick, you've got to do work or school or program through Zoom, and your stress response is, I just need to get this out of the way. If this just wasn't here, then everything would be fine. I can go back to doing or going wherever I was going. You are in the best place to experience a super abundant September. In less than a week, if you've got COVID, if you're in quarantine, or you're around people that are in quarantine, have COVID, you're recovering for COVID, or you work with people who are, this is the situation that's going on. Maybe what is in your way is the way. Maybe getting COVID or having to quarantine is the way that you get what you say you desperately want. Do you want to feel wholeness, love, health, connection, capability, opportunity, lovability? Then what better way than to get sick with COVID and be quarantined? I dare you to delete your entertainment apps. You stop watching and consuming so much damn entertainment. They did a global study of people who are rich in relationships, family, opportunities, experiences, financially, educationally, resources, joy, spirituality, rich all around. And this global study of these people who are really wealthy with health and relationships and family and purpose. Key differentiating factor between those people that were wealthy and those people that weren't was when the opportunity came, they chose education over entertainment. Damn it, choose education over entertainment. When we choose to distract, when we're ill, when we're not feeling well, or sick, we feel like we're controlled or confined or have to be confined to a small space. We've got these amazing gadgets in our hands and so much content out there. Well, I'll just watch stuff until this thing goes away and I can get back to normal. No. Maybe what is in the way is the way. What's going on with your nervous system is when it's stressed because of sickness, or you're in a state of fight or flight because you are confined or tired or uncertainty, financial stress. You are learning new ways to interact or react with people that you live with or around. In a state of fight or flight, your body is using its resources to be in a heightened state of awareness, and the chemistry there reflects that. That chemistry, or when your body's in that state of stress, it's not in a place to connect people, places, or things. It's when you're in a socially engaged state, your nervous system, when it down-regulates, when you're not seeing things around you as threats or as danger or as uncertainty, then you can connect. Then you can receive and be aware and get insight and learn. Emotional addiction to unhealthy, toxic, immature emotions. There's several ways it manifests, but often we'll go and be attracted to consuming entertainment that is ugly or dark because it resonates with how we feel. Okay, I get that. No judgment. And what that does in your nervous system then is continue to generate the chemistry of fight or flight and not the chemistry of recovery, connection, health, insight, awareness. Letting the experience teach you what you desperately need to learn or get present to or become so that you can move through and forward to the place in your life that is calling you, that you want to be at, that feels healthy and good and loving and rich and abundant. You're not doing drugs. Good job. You're committed to a program. Excellent. You're living in a place that's safe and you're learning skills and being around people and roommates and you are growing. Yep. Great. One of the ways that emotional addiction shows up and how your nervous system is dysregulates. So you might not be doing drugs. engaging in risky sex behavior, drinking. But here's some psychological symptoms that your nervous system is not regulating well and is going to be susceptible to emotional addiction. And when we talk about emotional addiction, we're talking about the chemistry of fight or flight, and that chemistry of always being on edge. If that's how we grew up, our parents were blowing up in fights, or we got ignored or iced out or shamed or made to feel sad or bad or alone, when we're under stress, we have to go back and try and recreate those same feelings. So if you're confined with COVID and feeling sick and stressed and in quarantine, and you've got feelings of shame or guilt, mood swings, fear, panic, aggression, anxiety, rage, terror, confusion, self-blame, or overwhelm, that's psychological signs that your nervous system is not regulating well, and you might be susceptible to engaging in emotional addiction, toxic behaviors, negative ways of trying to connect with the people around you. Now, your nervous system also goes through its fight, flight, or freeze. So signs that your nervous system is shutting down or in a freeze, you're finding an inability to connect to people or experiences, including yourself, feeling spacey and numb, an inability to think clearly, fear of speaking up or being seen. Physically, when you're not regulating well, your nervous system is telling you to pay attention. You're being hypervigilant, insomnia, nightmares, jumpiness, fear of loud sounds, trembling, shaking, your heart's racing, you're getting migraines, your gut, your digestion is having issues, or you've got a flare up in an autoimmune disease. And if you're caught and you're just caught in this place of wanting it to be done and over, tension, you might be grinding your teeth, migraines, you might have muscle tension, aches, you may feel exhausted or even feeling chronic fatigue. And socially, when your nervous system is out of whack and calling your attention to pay attention, you might have push or pull, avoidant relationships, patterns. You might have this fear of abandonment. You're powerful. You might be clingy, don't want to be alone. And you might have real challenge emotionally setting boundaries. You might find yourself being overly rigid. Don't cross my line. Having absolute boundaries, without flexibility. You have social anxiety, irritability, and withdrawal. Bringing this to your attention, pointing this out, going through this with you, for you to have the option to see that getting sick with COVID and being in quarantine and being in a house or a place where several others are going through the same experience is an opportunity to practice co-regulation, which is one of the ways we regulate our nervous systems with those around us. Maybe what's in the way is the way. Well, what do you do now? How do you figure this out? stop consuming entertainment and turn your time and attention to education. And dedicate, discipline, ask for help to carve out and protect some time that you are just sitting quietly with yourself, by yourself. It can be outside in nature, it can be in a room, it can be in your car, whatever. Taking time to just sit with your nervous system and practicing being open and available to what it's telling you and giving you and showing you is the guide, is the way, is how you figure this out. How abundant is that? Totally hard work. Uncomfortable. Brings up stuff. Yep, and yep. And maybe what's getting in the way is actually the way for you to learn and love like you said you'd learn and you would love when you started the program or when you started the relationship or wherever you are compared to where you want to be or who you want to become. Option to reframe your experience. Maybe what's in the way is the way to get or be or have exactly and everything and all that you want. I want you to want what you want. Super, stellar, abundant September is yours all the way to the end. Put it to the test. Protect portions of time. Just sit and be with yourself and go inside and explore, learn, try to understand or get present to what your body is telling you or showing you or doing for you or giving for you or guiding you. Choose education over entertainment. Knock it off with all the binge watching crap and wasting time on dumb shit while you're going through this experience. 3, you go and you apply and ask for any and all COVID-related funds, resources, payments, monies, abundance from wherever it is, state, federal, government, religious, non-denominational, corporate, business, I don't care. Any and all, you go ask for it. And you break your flippin' bank account with how much comes your way or is possible. Time in nature. Nature has a way of helping your nervous system regulate. Be with or in some element of nature for an intentional period and allow it to drive health, regulation, restore a state of feeling good in your nervous system. 4, practice forgiveness. Practice forgiveness and love. Forgiveness and love. In the Tuesdays with COVID podcast, it was beefy and big, I know. At about 40 minutes and 50 minutes, there's some prayers and chants of love and forgiveness. Forgiveness will help you find a way to figuring out how or why what is in the way is the way to get, do, be, and have what you want. And how to win. We win together. We love you, all of you, all the way, no matter what. Sending you lots of health, wealth, joy, recovery, and abundance on the Winning Together podcast. Take care, guys.